What would happen if two of boxing's greatest champions, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, finally clashed in the ring? The prospect of such a monumental fight has sent waves through the boxing community, igniting debates, theories, and speculations among fans and analysts alike. This potential showdown between two elite warriors is not just about titles, it is about legacy, dominance, and proving who the ultimate pound-for-pound king truly is. Could this be the biggest fight in modern boxing history? Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has cemented himself as one of the greatest fighters of this generation. With his aggressive style, powerful counterpunching, and ironclad defense, he has taken on and defeated some of the best names in the sport. On the other hand, Terence Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion, has displayed unmatched versatility, technical brilliance, and knockout power that make him a nightmare for any opponent. But could Crawford's skill set translate to victory against a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo? How would their fighting styles clash in the ring? Canelo Alvarez is known for his calculated pressure, methodical body attacks, and exceptional ability to adjust mid-fight. His head movement and counterpunching allow him to break down opponents over the rounds, forcing them into vulnerable positions where he can unleash his devastating combinations. In contrast, Crawford is a master strategist, seamlessly switching between orthodox and southpaw stances, adapting his approach based on his opponent's weaknesses. He has the ability to dissect and dismantle fighters with precise counterattacks and explosive finishing ability. If these two styles collided, would Canelo's power overcome Crawford's technical superiority, or would Crawford's movement neutralize Canelo's offensive arsenal? Is size the defining factor in this fight? One of the biggest concerns for Crawford moving up in weight is whether he can handle the physicality of Canelo. Alvarez has spent years battling and defeating elite opponents in higher weight classes, while Crawford has dominated at welterweight but has never faced an opponent as naturally strong and durable as Canelo. Would the added weight slow Crawford down, or could his speed and agility offset the size disadvantage? This is a crucial factor in determining how competitive this fight would be. Can Crawford's defense and ring IQ outsmart Canelo's brute force? Many believe that Crawford's boxing intelligence is second to none. He has an uncanny ability to read his opponent's movements, anticipate their attacks, and counter with devastating accuracy. Canelo, however, has faced and defeated fighters with high ring IQs, using his sheer power and technical skills to break them down. Would Crawford's defensive prowess be enough to keep Canelo at bay, or would Alvarez find a way to close the distance and land his trademark power shots? Would Canelo be able to handle Crawford's adaptability? One of Crawford's biggest strengths is his ability to make adjustments during a fight. He has demonstrated time and time again that he can change his approach based on his opponent's style, making him one of the most unpredictable fighters in the sport. But Canelo is no stranger to adaptation either. He has evolved significantly over the years, learning from his fights and improving his craft to become an unstoppable force. If Crawford starts to take control, would Canelo be able to turn the tide and impose his own game plan? What would a victory mean for either fighter's legacy? If Canelo defeats Crawford, it would further solidify his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time, proving that he can overcome any challenge, regardless of the opponent's skill set. However, if Crawford were to pull off an upset, it would catapult him into legendary status, marking him as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters to ever step into the ring. The stakes are incredibly high for both men, making this fight not just about belts but about carving their names in boxing history. Is there real interest in making this fight happen? While fans are clamoring for this bout, negotiations in boxing are never straightforward. There are many moving parts, from promotional deals to financial agreements, that could make or break the fight. Both Canelo and Crawford have expressed interest in facing each other, but will the business side of boxing allow it to happen? If the stars align, this fight could become one of the most anticipated events in recent memory. What challenges could arise in setting up this fight? One major roadblock could be the weight difference. Crawford has never fought above 147 pounds, while Canelo has comfortably fought as high as 175 pounds. The weight limit for this fight would need to be carefully negotiated to ensure a fair playing field. Additionally, purse splits, broadcasting rights, and promoter conflicts could complicate the process. Would both fighters be willing to make the necessary sacrifices to make this fight a reality? How would fans react to this matchup? The boxing world thrives on matchups that feature contrasting styles and compelling narratives. A fight between Canelo and Crawford ticks all the boxes for an unforgettable showdown. Fans would undoubtedly be split in their predictions, with some believing Canelo's size and power would be too much for Crawford, while others argue that Crawford's skill and adaptability would allow him to outclass the Mexican superstar. Regardless of opinions, the excitement surrounding this potential fight is undeniable. Would this fight break records in pay-per-view sales? Given the star power of both fighters, a clash between Canelo and Crawford has the potential to generate massive revenue. Both have strong fan bases, and the intrigue surrounding this matchup would likely drive record-breaking numbers. The promotional build-up alone would be enough to captivate audiences worldwide. Could this become one of the highest-grossing fights in boxing history? How would the fight play out round by round? If the fight were to happen, it would likely be a chess match in the early rounds, with both fighters trying to gauge each other's strengths and weaknesses. Canelo might start by applying pressure, looking to cut off the ring and land heavy shots to the body. Crawford, on the other hand, would likely use his footwork and angles to keep Canelo at a distance while setting up counterattacks. As the fight progresses, adjustments would be made on both sides, potentially leading to explosive exchanges in the later rounds. Would it go the full 12 rounds, or would one of them score a dramatic knockout? Could this fight be the defining moment of their careers? Every great fighter has a signature victory that cements their greatness. For Canelo, a win over Crawford would be another testament to his dominance across multiple weight classes. For Crawford, defeating Canelo would silence any doubts about his ability to compete at higher weights and solidify his legacy as one of the most complete fighters in boxing history. Could this be the fight that defines the greatness of one fighter while pushing the other to reassess their career? What do the experts say about this matchup? Many boxing analysts have weighed in on how this fight could unfold. Some believe that Canelo's power and experience at higher weight classes give him a clear advantage, while others argue that Crawford's technical mastery and adaptability make him the more dangerous fighter. With so many differing opinions, the only way to truly settle the debate would be to see them step into the ring. Will this fight ever happen, or is it just a fantasy matchup? While the excitement is undeniable, the reality of making such a fight come to fruition depends on numerous factors. If both fighters truly want this challenge, the financial incentives are strong enough, and the promotional hurdles can be cleared, then there is hope. Fans can only wait and see if boxing's biggest dream fight becomes a reality. With all the speculation and anticipation surrounding a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, one question remains: will we ever witness this epic battle, or will it remain one of the greatest what-if fights in boxing history? The highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has ignited widespread debates across the boxing world. While both fighters have established themselves as generational talents in their respective divisions, the question remains whether Crawford can overcome the significant physical advantages that Canelo brings into the ring. This fight represents not just a clash of two elite boxers but also an intriguing battle between power and precision, size and skill, experience and adaptability. Throughout his career, Canelo Alvarez has cemented his legacy as one of the most formidable fighters of this era. Having fought and defeated some of the best names in the sport, Canelo has showcased an extraordinary ability to absorb punishment, maintain relentless pressure, and deliver knockout blows that leave opponents struggling to recover. From his early days as a young Mexican prospect to becoming an undisputed champion, Canelo's evolution as a fighter has been remarkable. Canelo's list of opponents reads like a Hall of Fame registry. He has fought and triumphed over the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, Daniel Jacobs, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Jermell Charlo. Each of these fighters presented a unique challenge, yet Canelo managed to adapt and impose his will in the ring. One of the most defining aspects of Canelo's fighting style is his ability to withstand punches from heavy hitters. His granite chin was evident in his fights against Golovkin, a fighter known for his devastating power. Despite absorbing Golovkin's best shots over 2 fights, Canelo remained on his feet and delivered his own punishing counters. Canelo's power is another factor that makes him a dangerous opponent. He has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to end fights with a single punch. The knockout victory over Kovalev showcased his ability to carry his power into higher weight classes. This raises concerns for Crawford, who has never faced an opponent with such a combination of power and durability. Can Crawford handle Canelo's relentless pressure and knockout power? Many analysts believe this will be the defining question of the fight. On the other hand, Terence Crawford is widely regarded as one of the most skilled and versatile boxers in the sport today. Having dominated the welterweight division, Crawford's ability to switch stances, adjust his tactics mid-fight, and outthink his opponents has made him nearly unbeatable. His victories over Shawn Porter, Errol Spence Jr., Amir Khan, and Kell Brook highlight his ability to dismantle elite competition. Crawford's power, though not as thunderous as Canelo's, has been enough to stop top-tier opponents. His precise counterpunching and ability to exploit defensive lapses make him a formidable challenger. However, Crawford has never faced an opponent of Canelo's size and strength. Moving up to 168 pounds represents a significant challenge, as it requires not just adding weight but also maintaining speed, endurance, and power at a new weight class. Fighters who have moved up in weight often struggle with the increased power of their opponents. Canelo's recent bout with Jermell Charlo is an example of this. Charlo, despite his technical skills, was unable to handle Canelo's power and pressure, leading to a one-sided fight. Many analysts fear a similar outcome for Crawford. Boxing expert Sean Zittel has voiced concerns about Crawford's ability to withstand Canelo's pressure. He noted that while Crawford is a master technician, he has never been tested by an opponent with Canelo's level of physicality. If Crawford is unable to keep Canelo at bay, he could find himself overwhelmed by the sheer force of Canelo's attack. Shawn Porter, a former opponent of Crawford, also weighed in on the fight, suggesting that while Crawford has the tools to make it competitive, the size difference could be too much to overcome. One of the key aspects of this fight is how Crawford approaches the early rounds. Canelo is known for starting strong and looking for early knockouts. If Crawford can survive the initial onslaught and wear Canelo down, he may find success in the later rounds. However, this strategy is easier said than done. Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and force opponents into uncomfortable positions makes it difficult to avoid his power shots. Crawford will need to rely on his movement and defensive skills to neutralize Canelo's pressure. The weight class factor cannot be overlooked. Canelo has been competing at 168 pounds for several years and has fully adjusted to the demands of the division. Crawford, on the other hand, has never fought at this weight and will need to make significant adjustments. Fighters who move up in weight often struggle with stamina and durability. While Crawford has an exceptional gas tank, carrying additional weight could affect his mobility and effectiveness. Another critical element of this fight is the mental aspect. Both fighters are known for their high ring IQs and ability to adjust during a fight. Crawford is a master at reading his opponents and making real-time adjustments. His adaptability has been a key factor in his undefeated record. However, Canelo is equally adept at making adjustments and has experience fighting a wide range of styles. The battle of wits between these two fighters will play a crucial role in determining the outcome. Former champion Demetrius Andrade provided insights into the potential strategies both fighters could employ. Andrade pointed out that Crawford may need to adopt a hit-and-move approach, utilizing his speed and footwork to stay out of Canelo's range. However, he also acknowledged that Canelo's ability to close distance and land body shots could negate this strategy. Andrade expressed admiration for Crawford's skill set but admitted that the size and power difference could be a deciding factor. As fight night approaches, the boxing world remains divided on the outcome. Supporters of Crawford believe that his superior boxing skills and ability to adjust will give him the edge. They argue that if he can avoid Canelo's power shots and dictate the pace, he has a path to victory. On the other hand, Canelo's supporters believe that his experience, power, and size will prove too much for Crawford to handle. They argue that once Canelo starts landing clean punches, Crawford will struggle to recover. Regardless of the outcome, this fight is a testament to the greatness of both fighters. It represents a rare clash between two undisputed champions from different weight classes, each looking to cement their legacy. For Crawford, a victory would solidify his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time, proving that he can compete and win at multiple weight classes. For Canelo, a victory would further establish his dominance in the sport and add another elite name to his already impressive resume. In the end, this fight is about more than just belts and titles. It is about legacy, greatness, and the willingness to take on the biggest challenges. Whether Crawford can overcome the odds or Canelo once again proves his supremacy, one thing is certain: boxing fans are in for a spectacular showdown. The anticipation is at an all-time high, and the world will be watching as these two titans step into the ring to determine who truly reigns supreme.